More analysis. We're now joined by international affairs editor Douglas Herbert. Doug, Mike Pompeo's visit to the Golan Heights marks an unprecedented break with previous US foreign policy. As I mentioned, why is he going, and why is he going now?
Well, look, this is basically the farewell tour for Donald Trump's signature Middle East and Israel foreign policy. And he's basically hammering away, as you alluded to, on all of those major themes with respect to Israel. Things like acceding to the wishes of Israel's ultra-nationalist government time and again, especially in moves like recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of all of Israel. Weakening, and that's really the only word to use it, weakening the Palestinians and their cause, denying them aid, alienating them, often disenfranchising them, and playing, often, just blindly playing to the evangelical Christian base that sees a Jewish presence in the Holy Land as something, almost a messianic cause. All these factors coming together in this Golan Heights visit. Now, you mentioned that the Golan Heights was captured by Israel in the 1967 war. It was then annexed 14 years later. That annexation was basically rejected by the United Nations Security Council because they don't recognize territory that is acquired by force. Yet what Donald Trump did is last year, in March of 2019, he basically rescinded that. He recognized Israel's claim to sovereignty over the Golan Heights, a major shakeup, if not an upheaval in traditional historic U.S. foreign policy in the region, which is also, I just may add, going to make Joe Biden's task a lot more difficult as he comes in and confronts this new sort of fait accompli, these facts on the ground created by these Trump policies. So a very controversial visit, an unprecedented visit to the Golan Heights, but one which Israel is obviously very happy about.
And we've just seen there images of Mike Pompeo descending from a helicopter at the Golan Heights. Now, a less public part of his tour is a trip to a hilltop Israeli settlement in the occupied West Bank. Many see that as a highly provocative move as well.
Yeah, and look, the Jewish settlements in the occupied West Bank are not recognized by most of the international community, and international legal scholars basically say it's a violation of the norms of international law. Once again, here, the Trump policy has been more than charitable towards Israel, recognizing its right to be settled in these settlements. And remember, when we're talking about settlements, we're often talking about a small minority of Jewish settlers coexisting alongside a much larger numbers of Palestinians in the area. Now, in this case, Mike Pompeo paying a visit to a hilltop Jewish settlement, a winery at Sagat. And this is, just to be clear, this is on land, this winery, this Jewish settlement, is on land that was private Palestinian land, which was subsequently seized by Israel, as Israel says, for security purposes, and later converted for settlement purposes. So once again, this is, in the view of a good deal of the international community, an area, a settlement that violates international norms and international law. Mike Pompeo, however, said last year he rescinded basically a State Department policy, a memo that had stood for generations, really, of policymakers in the U.S., basically saying that he did not believe that the existence of these settlements on this disputed territory was in any way inconsistent, as he put it, with international law. So this is a very controversial visit, but one which is very much consonant and consistent with Donald Trump's foreign policy throughout his 4 years of this administration. So this visit hammering home all of those themes, going out with a bang on Israeli foreign policy.
Thank you very much, Doug Herbert, for that analysis from our International Affairs Desk.